Dr. Sarah, you recently shared on one of your longer YouTube videos that you've lost 100 pounds 3 times so far in your life.
So far, so far, we are hoping third time's the charm. Finger, all the everything crossed.
So you've also communicated that Nutrivore is a weight inclusive approach, but you do get a lot of questions about weight loss, and you have now addressed those in some longer YouTube videos, which is awesome. Please go check out Sarah's YouTube if you want to. But my question is for you, for those of us that have weight loss goals, how do we use Nutrivore as a balanced approach for that?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, the reason why I communicate Nutrivore in a weight inclusive way, and I know people always want to see my before photos when they learn that I've lost so much weight. Fine, I'll put one up. But I don't like doing that because I don't like using, especially because I've had to do this 3 times, I don't like using my struggles with weight loss as a credential, because I find the science supporting health at any size to be incredibly compelling, and that aligns with my personal experience. So I have experienced both really good health and really poor health at both a bigger size and a smaller size. I would say my health and my weight have not correlated particularly well. And that's what the science says, right? The science says the things that are far more important is diet quality, activity, sleep quality, stress management techniques, social determinants of health, which we don't have control over, right? Like the things that are actually impacting health, a lot of those are also going to impact weight, but it's not the weight itself that is making us healthy. And so with Nutrivore, and because of that experience, I've made the choice to really focus on the health part of the equation and really communicate the value of this higher diet quality without restricting any food in the interest of sustainable nutrition, overall healthy eating patterns that we can maintain for our entire lives. Now, for a lot of people, adopting those eating patterns and the other lifestyle changes will help to lose weight, right? It's why there's 17 tips to sustainable, healthy weight loss in the appendix of my book. But the reason why those tips are in the appendix is so that the main narrative can be focused on health and not weight, so that if you are on a body positivity journey, you can read this book without, that triggering narrative centered on weight loss. But I also understand society tells us the smaller bodies have higher value. Weight loss is a natural desire for a lot of people because of that societal programming. So Nutrivore, all of those habits are habits that are centered on health, but for a lot of people, just focusing on those habits are going to result in weight loss. And there's like places you can tweak, hence the 17 tips, to help increase the focus on healthy, sustainable, maintainable weight loss even further. So the big thing for me, the reason why I say like I hope third time's the charm, especially having done this now in my 20s, in my 30s, and in my 40s. Um, I think that thanks to Nutrivore, like I have finally nailed that higher diet quality while continuing to eat the foods I love, because Nutrivore was my path away from restrictive dieting. And I think that is like really key for both just the sustainable nutrition, the health goal piece of it, but also with the like reaching weight loss goals piece of it. Um, Ditching the restrictive mindset when it comes to food, that restrictive mindset where you have a list of foods that you can't eat, right? That whether they're inflammatory or toxic or they're just junk food, right? When you have this list of foods that you're depriving yourself of, no matter what your health goals, the psychological impact of that is that it increases food fixation and obsession, and it magnifies cravings, makes us more susceptible to emotional eating. And eventually we hit a moment where we can't do it anymore. That is like the physiological and psychological consequence of adopting a diet with a list of bad foods that you're not allowed to eat. And then you have that day where you have your cheat meal or whatever it is, right? Like you give in to that craving, and that results in disinhibition, where you just like feel like you don't have control anymore, and that's what drives the yo-yo. So, as somebody who has yo-yoed so much, I think that the key here is to be able to maintain overall healthy eating patterns, but without that restriction, to give ourselves full permission to eat the foods we love and to actually intentionally make room for the foods we love as a tool for making sure we're getting enough joy from our diet that we can stick to those overall healthier eating patterns. I think that those foods, rather than calling them cheap foods, right, or bad foods or whatever else, those foods are necessary for long-term sustainability of healthy eating.